not too late for firsts. First love, first kiss, first date, first heartbreak, first job, first salary, first travel, firsts. We usually remember our firsts the first time. The first time. Like, for some, we consider these moments the highlights of our lives. I am guilty of this, putting extra emphasis at times on these experiences, maybe good or bad. I give so much emphasis to my firsts, especially to the good ones. It's like these are my bucket lists. Things to do before I die kind of things. Sentimental, as they say. And before, I thought there was nothing wrong with it. It's just that maybe I value memories that much. When I am in my early 20s, I always love to talk about my firsts. Gusto nyo bang pag-usapan? Gusto nyo ba? Gusto nyo ba talaga? One thing that I usually do is I relive these moments in my head over and over again. The feelings, the faces, everything about it. It's like a favorite song that's on repeat. So, because I so love the firsts, I thought that I wanted to make the other firsts extra memorable. I want them to be perfect. That's the term. So, what I did was to keep on waiting for the right time, the right person, and the right place. I want my next firsts to be perfect. Nalalavarn, ganun. But sad to say, pandemic happened. Boom! I was on my quarter life during the pandemic. The feeling when you expect your 25th year to be the year when you know what you want, when you have your goals achieved, when you build more plans, stuff like this. But I was there, unsure of everything. I even forgot the firsts that I wanted to have. From dreaming of quote-unquote perfect firsts to just surviving a day. I remember I'm just hoping for better days, for my friends and family to be safe, for the pandemic to be over. I'm sharing this because I give so much value to my firsts, like they would be the last. Parang I close the doors and the windows for another first. Should I say, para akong nawalan ng pag-asa. It's like saying, ayoko nang umasa, like just let it be. As the song says, if it's meant to be, it will be. During the time of pandemic. But then eventually, life happens again. Special thanks to the people that I met, the people that I've talked to, most especially during the pandemic. You've inspired me to dream and experience firsts again. So here, yay! I'm doing a first. This is the first episode of my podcast. First time sharing a story in public, like super public. First episode. I was a radio DJ before. That's my first love. I worked for a year. And I enjoyed sharing stories like this whenever we do our program. I thought that was it. After a year of being a radio DJ, I became a teacher, senior high school teacher. And again, I saw myself still enjoying sharing stories like this. I remember my students remembering my stories. Yung feeling na natatandaan nila yung kwento. I don't know kung naaalala, meron kaming isang activity doon na about stereotyping. Magbibigay lang ako ng mga characteristics. Tapos sasabihin nila kung ano yung nasa isip nila. I remember merong item doon na may tattoo, may piercing, makapal ang kilay. Ang sagot nila, something bad. Tapos ang sinabi ko, huy, ganun kaya ang itsura ng mga crush ko. Tapos, after some time, natatandaan nila yon na, miss, yung crush mo, diba? Yung may tattoo, yung may piercing, yung ganyan, kapalang kilay, may bigote. Sabi nila, wala lang. Naalala ko lang. So, I thought that was it again. But then, nung nag-aral ako ng Master in Public Administration, we had this school requirement. It's a journal. Our task noon is to write stories that made us happy or basta good story na nangyari sa isang araw. That was our project kay Sir Ton. Hi, Sir Ton. So there, I saw myself enjoying writing stories na naman. It's just a project, but eventually it became part of my life. Like, I do it every day. So for how many years, I'm writing stories. It's just that I'm not sharing it to everybody. So, fun fact. Hindi pala fun fact. So, fact about me, I love sharing stories. Madaldal ako. Machika, ganun. Minsan feel ko nga wala namang sense yung kwento ko, pero dahil naalala ko, feeling ko gusto ko siyang i-share. So, seriously, I never thought that one day I'd have this first. And I'm sharing it with you this time. The first podcast. The first time that I'll share it in public. Oh my gosh, kinakabahan ako! But this is memorable because of the people behind this. The people that are very dear to me. So, I never thought that I'll be able to do this. Naisip ko to dati na gusto kong nagsasalita, gusto kong nagpapa-cute, gusto kong nag-iiba ng boses, gusto kong nilalaro yung boses ko. I find it exciting when I do this. But, iniisip ko paano. So, I thought it's just mag-host ako, ganyan. Na ginawa ko naman, pero hindi pa yun eh. So, I thought of this because of my friends and students. There are 3 things na naaalala ko kung bakit ko naisipan na may chance or pwede akong mag-podcast. First, yung mga mukha ng estudyante ko before, pag nagkukwento ako, alam niyo yung all eyes on you? Parang ang ganda-ganda mo. Parang ang ganda rin ng sinasabi mo. Kasi nakatingin sila. Kaya lang, yung reaction nila, hindi ko alam if masaya sila sa kwento ko, nabababawan ba, or nawiweirdohan, or nakyukyutan. Basta I can still recall their faces whenever I share stories. I feel like there are people who will listen to me. Second, I have this friend. She's the first person to read my journal. And then what she said to me was, I wish I was like you. Can see the good things in life through her stories. So I was inspired na meron pala na nai-inspire sa kwento ko. And then third, may mga kaibigan ako na kapag hindi makatulog, ako yung tinatawagan nila. Tapos kailangan ko lang magkwento. Tapos kapag nakapagkwento naman ako, nare-relax ba sila? Tapos bigla maririnig ko na lang sila na humihilik na. So, sleeping pills pala ang boses ko. Pwede ba? So, naisip ko, wow, may makikinig pala sa akin. May mai-inspire pala. And may natutulungan pala. So, may purpose. But other than that, if I look at myself, this is what I love to do. This is what I enjoy doing. Mag-express, gamitin ang voice, magmaganda, gamit ang boses. So, it excites me. It's a thing, or it's what I love to do. And it's funny how I just realized that I enjoy doing this ngayong 26 na ako. But it's not too late. And mind you, to start this podcast, ang dami mong dapat din alamin or ang hirap din niyang aralin. And it will take too much of your time too. But because you enjoy doing it, it's worthy. And I love sharing this story to you. Anyway, my thoughts, I think there's nothing wrong with wanting to have beautiful, memorable firsts. It's your life. Of course, you want it to be the best. It's just that if you already can, if you want it, do not wait that long to make it happen. If you can, go. If you already have beautiful firsts, that's nice, but do not be hard on yourself and treat these experiences as your last. Open yourself to experience it the second time, third time, or you can always make it feel like a first. Or you can always make it like a first. And if you feel like you're too old to have a first, believe me, it's not too late for another first. I haven't experienced ang maligo sa ulan, yung sadya, pero yung nababasa, ay madalas. Yung makapunta sa isang museum, haven't done that. Ang manood ng concert. I once hosted a concert, but I want to experience it as an audience this time. Ebe Dancel Cutie. Ebe Dancel Concert Cutie. Yan pala. And a lot more. I still have a lot of firsts to do. So, guys, let's create more beautiful firsts. And before I end this podcast, I want to dedicate it to the people who love listening to my stories. Most especially to the late Apong Tali, who's now in heaven, who never failed to listen to my stories for decades, for years. Po, this is for you. And to my former students who inspired and pushed me to share my stories on this platform, this is for you. I would also like to dedicate this podcast to the people behind it. The title of this podcast, the line "The Art of 20s," is from my former student, is from Cristel David. Thank you. The graphic or the image of this podcast is designed by Shira May Sagu, my former student as well. The picture, my picture on this podcast image was also a work of my former students, Luis Canicosa and Adrian Javier. Thank you so much. And the one who edited this podcast is Clovert. Thank you so much, Clovert. So, he's also a student. So, thank you so much, guys, for helping me create this first. And one last thought. Masarap yung feeling na nakagawa ka ng first or natupad mo yung gusto mong gawin for the first time. But it is much more meaningful and fulfilling if you did it with the people who are special to you. This is my first podcast episode and it was memorable because of you guys. Thank you for listening. I hope if you enjoyed this podcast, you can comment, send me a message on my Instagram. It's at SAHMAELUGTU, Sammy Lugdu. And if you want to add some stories about your beautiful first, you can also send those to me. Thank you so much for listening. I hope this first is not as bad. I hope this first episode I hope you enjoyed the first episode. This is Sarah.